Mr. Tatlock. They do say, you know, for people to run you down, they must have been behind you in the first place.
It's the price you have to pay for pioneering, I suppose.
I was saying to Jack only last night. Was it this morning? Well, it was either last night or this morning.
What?
What, dear?
Well, what did you say to him?
What did I say? Oh, well, I was remarking to him, dear, that people are not really tug-of-war minded these days. You know, you can go from one year's end to the other without seeing one.
Yes, well, them days have gone. Just the same as horse muck.
I beg your pardon?
Horse muck in street. Do you know, I reckon you could gather enough in them days to make your allotment merry all the summer.
Really?
Nowadays, if you see a horse, there's 10 men walking behind it with buckets.
I've not really taken all that much notice.
Well, there's nothing wasted in nature. We may have traded horses for motor cars, but you can't grow so blooming much with petrol fumes.
There you are, Albert. One pair of scales.
Oh, thank you very much. And I'm very grateful to these Mrs. Walker. I suppose they will weigh heavy fellas.
Oh, I should think so, yes, dear. Although they haven't really gone much above 9 stones while I've had them.
Have you got your team of tuggers yet, Albert?
Have I, actors like? Finding 8 burly Cinderellas is one thing, but getting them to go to balls another.
Well, look, if you want anything, just tell us. We're completely in concert with the idea.
Well, I suppose the main thing is to infect them with my enthusiasm.
I can see what you're up against, lad.
Well, this isn't winning the war. Have you finished with that?
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you going in? It's turned 9 if you are.
No, I think I'd better stick near to that.
Why?
Oh, somebody might ring.
Somebody might ring, meaning John.
The Potters have been to the police and Yeah, meaning John.
Well, so far, he's a 16-year-old lad that stopped out all night, that's all.
And what about the other bit?
Oh, love, you don't need me to tell you. Suicide notes. Not threats, the cries for help.
Teach yourself psychology, page 1. Too many exceptions to that rule to make it stick, though.
Well, nothing's that bad. When he's 16, he's just being thingy, what's the word?
Histrionic?
Yeah, histrionic.
Maybe.
And it's all your fault, I suppose. Ken Barlow must take the blame.
All right, love, all right. It's just that I might be the one who pushed the detonator down.
Well, what about the Potters? He's their son.
Yeah.
Well, where do they come into?
Where do they come to? For crying out loud, Val, they've been around for 16 years. Pushing, banging and stamping, the most obvious round peg into the most... I'm sorry.
Right, this is just John's way of rebelling, that's all. He's just not having any. Oh, go to school. I've been tripping over you all morning just sitting there.
No, I don't think I'd better.
Look, if he phones here, though, why should I haven't the faintest? I'll ring you at school.
Okay, all right. But, listen, ring me if anything happens at all.
Wrong
Right.
numbers and all.
Right, where did I leave my coat?
Where you left it.
Oh, yeah. Where was that now?
On the hook on the wall behind the front door.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the front door's that way.
Oh, a stroppy wench, eh?
Yes.
Right, bye, love.
Ta-ta.
And remember, ring me anything at all.
Oh! Ken? Ken? Hello? Is this John? Have you been home? Now listen to me, young man. A lot of... Oh, don't be silly. What do you mean, put an end to it? Put an end to what? It's a lot less drastic talking things over, love. John, where are you? Look, just... Nobody's trying to get you. Look, if you but knew it, Mr. Barlow is very much on your side. John! Oh.
Anyhow?
Christmas cards from the land of the Uddle Mosses.
Oh, well, where's that list? We've got to see who we've forgotten.
Oh, you've forgotten Christmas and all. I don't know. You pinch all our ideas, don't you?
Yeah, we've got a whole State Department working on it. Whatever the British come up with today so we can steal it. That's a big British phobia, you know, that the whole world is sneaking your ideas.
Well, they're not far out, you know.
No, all this country's got to do is roll up its sleeves and get in there and pitch, like the man said, pull its finger out.
Bugs O'Brien? It sounds like one of Al Capone's mob. Who the ex-Bugs O'Brien?
One of the Al Capone mob. It's Janice.
She had a couple of protruding projectiles.
Buck teeth.
Yeah. She used to carry my school books, you know.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
Wow, not when you're in a buyer's market. They used to fight over the privilege of carrying my books. That's how she lost the man-eaters.
I bet you were a right prowling tomcat, cat and all, and modest with it.
Yeah. No, we haven't got her on the list. Oh, she's married, by the way. Has 3 little bugs of her own.
Steve? What are we doing for Christmas?
I don't know why.
Is there anything you want to do?
You mean like, book a table somewhere? Oh, I think I went sunbathing last year with a bottle of Benedictine at my elbow. What do they usually do around here?
Oh, all family stuff, you know. Christmas pud and turkeys and port and daft paper hats and the smell of cigars. And someone shouting, shut up, it's 3 o'clock, she's on. And where the heck's the nutcrackers?
She's on? Who?
Well, we have great big bowls of nuts with tangerines and things. And after dinner, you sit down and doze off in the chair if you want to. Then you wake up and you watch telly for a bit through bleary eyes. And then if you want to, you just doze off again. What do you think?
It beats my Benedictine.
Should we?
Well, like the Colonel said, get out there, man, and assimilate with the natives.
Yeah, and if they all wear grass skirts, soldier, you wear grass skirts.
Hey, do you think Ivan and Linda can make it?
Yeah, sure they could, and Paul.
Yeah, and our Dennis.
Oh, we have to have our Dennis. He came out of the Christmas cracker, you know.
And everything's A-OK then, huh?
Everything's A-OK.
Ah, he's coming the old malarkey, love. He was all right when I had a chat to him.
Well, if that phone rings again, it can just flipping well ring, because I'm not in the mood to be a suicide Samaritan.
Oh, what's made you change your mind all of a sudden?
The way he sounded on the phone.
Bit on the wild side, eh?
No, sort of calm, matter of fact. Reasonable, that's it. He just sounded reasonable.
Oh, hello, Dave.
Oh, good.
Any development stuff? Just the one phone call.
Oh, that was enough. More than enough, in fact.
So what do you want to phone you for, anyway? Not his parents.
Maybe his parents aren't on the phone. Anyway, I'll do. I'm just an extension of his parents, rather like the lion going for the trainer's whip. He can't distinguish between the two.
It's a while since he rang, love. Something might be happening.
No, it's all right, love. Through ringing here, the heat will be off a bit.
Oh, sorry, kid, I don't get that.
Nor me.
Well, if he's serious, it'll now be a fixed idea ringing me.
Yes, but what does he want to talk for? I mean, if you're going to do it, you don't debate it, you do it.
Yeah, well, look, he might want to absolve himself by making me feel guilty. Make me responsible for his actions. At the moment, that's exactly how I do feel.
Well, I think we ought to get the Potters round here. I mean, he's their son.
My problem. Yeah, okay. But I won't be long then, though. And if he does ring, keep him talking as long as he can, will you?
Right, come on then. Here they are.
Very nice, Albert. Where are they coming from?
Well, I did hear as how there were a shortage of beds. No, you great big duff of scales.
Oh, scales.
For weighing.
Albert's got some scales, Leonard.
For weighing.
Ah, very nice too, mate.
You'll have hours of fun with them.
All right for the winter evenings, join in, you know.
No, it's not just practical either. Anyone would be proud to have a piece of furniture like that in the house.
Think of all the pennies in the slot you'll save yourself, eh? Getting paid for the time is 112, eh?
Hey, well, just a minute. Come on. It's you, lad, I'm going to wait.
Huh?
I'm looking for a great big Evian for the anchor man. Somebody fat, flat-footed and feeble-minded, and I reckon he fills all
Now
three.
watch it, Albert. My feet are arched like panthers' backs.
Ah, they will pounce on them scales then. But I reckon that outward-bound belly movement ought to count for a stone or two.
Listen, I come from a family of low-chested athletes. What's it say?
Can't you see?
Can I thunder?
Oh, heck.
Shall I get off? Will that be better?
Hey, is that all you come to?
What?
14 stone, 3 pounds? Hey, what do you tip 'em at, Len?
Oh, not quite as much as him, I can tell you that.
Oh, heck. Hey, I wonder if Tubby Tomlinson out to Rosamond Street would be interested. I reckon there's about 20 stone going gash there.
He'll never get Tubby round here apart from a tank trap. He needs help to stir his tea.
Tell me, just how long is it since you last organised a tug-of-war team?
You what?
I'm asking, how long is it since you put a tug-of-war team in the field?
Well, it's going back a bit now. I mean, it hasn't been just lately.
I'll put it a bit more subtle like. Have you ever organised one outside of your imagination?
You doubted my ability.
Oh, it's not your ability I'm doubting, it's your knowledge of the basics. Now then, tell me, what class does the flying horse team pull in?
What?
Class. There's no sense in them being in one class and us in another, but of course you'll have settled all that a bit since.
Well, we are sort of getting down to the process of fixing it with Jimmy Ledbetter.
There's no process involved. What class is it? It's as simple as that.
Well, the 8-a-side class.
The 8 of what?
8 on one side, 8 on t'other, pulling a rope.
Oh, I see. I didn't know the rules had been simplified.
What are these classes, Mrs. Sharples?
Well, there's more to tug-of-war than brawn and brute force, you know. Oh, the 8 fattest fellas you can find leaning backwards.
No?
Is it, heck? It's technique, teamwork, timing, tricks. It's more like chess than conquest. Look, any fool can pull. You can get 8 of them to pull together, but when to pull, that's where the science comes in.
Heck. Gas and theory, that's all it is.
I don't know. It doesn't sound so bad to me, Albert.
Look, they won't send 8 little messenger boys, you know. There'll be 8 burly beggars stripped at braces and breathing fire.
And that's where your class comes in. Teams are graded according to their weight. There's the 88-stone class, the 100 and the 104.
And what about the flying horse? What are they?
Let her take over if she blooming well wants to.
It's not a bad idea, you know. She'd make a marvellous anchor man.
Hello, Mrs. Potter. Mr. Potter.
Well, he's got us into a bonny little pickle this time, hasn't he? 16 years old and suicidal. Mrs. Askew next door asked after him this morning. Usually calls in for her 2 ounces of Peruvian bark on his way home and to lie my tongue black.
Oh, you don't seem as worried as I expected.
Suicide? That doesn't worry me. He's not likely to do that. No. Lack of gratitude, consideration, that's what bothers me. We've made sacrifices for that boy. In return, we're expecting him to stick at his books. That's all we've ever asked him to do.
Excuse me. It's him.
I'll take it. Yes? Oh, it's you. Do you know how many people you've inconvenienced today? No, I don't suppose you do. And did you expect to answer the phone? And I don't need that tone about...
Ring off, love.
It's all right. You were on long enough for me to find out where he is. The little devil.
Are you certain he's in there?
101% certain. Covered in oil and crawling under anything with wheels on. I smell a garage for a week after. Hair matted, hands greying with grease. No wonder my patience wears thin at times.
It's Dickie Bow Chadwick's garage. Our John does a bit for him now and again.
Now and again. Again and again. That's more like it. Oh, come on. Let's see what state he's got himself into. And a firm hand from you, Harry, wouldn't go, miss. Just for once.
Mrs. Potter, would you have any objection to my going in first?
Why?
Well, I'd just like to have a word with him alone.
Ah, that's what I've got in mind. A few words.
Yes, but I have missed a few, if not all of my classes today, and my wife's been considerably upset by hearing your son threaten suicide and being incapable of doing anything about it, and now it turns out that he's the boy Marvel mechanic. When do you think he spoke to my wife? On his tea break? How are you planning your departure, John? Exhaust fumes or strangulation by fan belt?
How did you find me?
Well, the natural habitat of a shifty-eyed little creep is under the nearest stone, lad. And put that wrench down or I'll break your head with it. Right, let's get this right then. Suicide note to your parents. Suicide phone call to my wife. Motive? I take it we can assume that suicide wasn't the motive. Well, what then?
There's you and there's them. And between you, I'm up to here. Choked.
Well, the extra tuition, you mean, the cram session?
Yeah, partly. You know I'll never make it. You knew after the first 10 minutes, didn't you?
Oh, well, yes, but that's not exactly a suicidal state of affairs, is it? What's that bit all about?
Oh, I don't know. It seemed a good idea. Yesterday.
Well, do you think you'd scare us all or something? Scared me, I don't mind admitting.
And what? They're outside, are they?
That's all right. They won't come until I give them a nod. That's arranged. Right. Well, let's get back to square one, then. John, what do you really want to do? Is it this?
Well, there's only one thing.
So, there you are.
Right, who's next on the agenda? Oh, Hilary Wainscott. Lovely little agenda. Irene Bardsley.
How much you paying 6 electors?
Oh, are you here again?
Mm-hmm.
You're always flaming here.
I come for the welcome.
Oh, we like that in the north, you know. Hearts of gold, sure, what we've got. Doors always on the latch, friends and neighbours always dropping in. It's flaming disgusting.
Oh, Linda, Paul and Ivan will be all right then, won't they?
Are they coming up?
I think so.
Christmas? Oh, I can't. I've got a party on.
When?
Christmas Eve, Boxing Day, day after.
Ah, will you be all right Christmas Day then?
Oh, we're not having a proper family do, are we?
Yes, now why can't you put Linda and Ivan up?
Yeah, well, they'd be disturbed. You know, little Paul wouldn't sleep and Ivan to get one of his big Polish patios on.
Dennis, how many hundreds of undesirables have you invited round here?
A small hand-picked group, all desirables, no rough tat among them.
Ah, well, Linda, Paul and Ivan will be all right.
Oh.
Hey, mustard. Oh, hello, Mrs. Tanner.
What do you want? I'm in very short supply.
I brought someone to case the joint. Hey, Wild Thing!
You looking for the ladies, love, or the gents?
That's Robert. He's transcendental.
Lovely little country.
No, you know, pure consciousness.
Pure what, Pet?
Consciousness.
Oh.
He paints as well.
Oh, taxing some living that kid does, doesn't he?
Abstract?
Landscapes.
Oh, it's a great area for industrial stuff round here.
Of the soul, man. Landscapes of the soul.
Watercolours?
The indivisible colours of love.
Oh, yes.
Dennis, is pure consciousness here one of your hand-picked select little band of partygoers?
Yeah, they're great.
What do you mean, they're great? Who's they?
Robert's crowd.
How many?
Oh, you know,
No, I've no idea. How many?
maybe a dozen. Sometimes more, sometimes less.
Sometime more like forget it.
Yes, well, Linda and Ivan have just gone. It's all right, love, I'll get them fixed up somewhere else. Well, cheerio, chaps. Oh, for goodness sake, why don't you all sit down and have a nice cup of yak's milk?
It's all very well you deciding to go your own way, John. There are obligations on your part to me. And your father. I've nothing against the garage. I've nothing against Mr. Chadwick. But we've made sacrifices for years now. It hurts us both to suddenly discover that they've been useless.
Look, Mum, I'm sorry about writing that daft note, but I had to bring it to things... I'm not very bright at stuff you want for me.
Nonsense, John, you're very bright, only perhaps you don't apply yourself.
No, Mr. Barlow, will you tell him, please? It's very important.
Yeah, look, John is just not an art student. But then again, he's doing things with this car that's just black magic to me.
It might be better, Mr. Barlow, if you don't take sides. John's our son. I think we know him slightly better than you.
And what's best for him from now on?
No, it's us. There are lots of other things involved, Mr. Barlow.
You're coming with us now.
I'll just get this off my hands. There's a tin of stuff over there.
John, you're 16. If you go wrong now, you'll never reverse it. Low-grade clerk, lad, rest of your life. Now, for God's sake, John, keep that muck on your hands.
Dad? Dad?
Come on, Harry, it's time you said something.
Right. You and me, Mother. We're going home. And now John can stop here where he's doing something he wants to do.
And what about...
What about nothing? John can talk things over with Mr. Barlow here and, well, after that he can make his own decision.
What do you think?
Oh, pure consciousness, Dad.
About the house?
Okay,
Okay, for what?
we got ourselves a party.
Oh, can I come? Hey, I've just got to ask this. Are there any more at home like you?
I'll spread the word around the pilgrims.
Because I don't want 40 great hairy things like you flopping around the house. Hey, you haven't got one with the white hair and white beard, have you?
How much bread you got?
Oh, about half a loaf.
Bread, it means money. Bread.
I know. For the party?
Yes.
Oh, we'll have a kitty. Put in what you can afford.
I'll spread the message round tonight. Wow.
Mr. Potter?
Yep.
Crikey.
Crikey what?
Crikey, Bobs.
Oh, I suppose putting your foot down late is better than not at all, but 16 years is a bit of a postponement.
And does John really know what he wants to do?
Yeah, he wants to work in that garage. Oh, what?
Nothing.
Oh, come on. I mean, something. What?
Well, you can sympathise with Mrs. Potter in a way. I mean, I know she drives you up the wall and all that. But I don't think I'd like our Peter to end up in a garage.
End up? It's not end up, it's the beginning from. Required at John's garage, supposed to let him off 2 days a week to attend an engineering course. And time is 18, that could be a degree course.
What does Mrs. Potter say about all this?
Well, John's decision, she's just got to take it.
And she'll just quietly step aside?
Adjust, I think is the word you want, though.
Oh, I can see her doing that.
Yeah, all right. Well, it will take a bit of time, but then, people do these things, you know. And when you get down to it, not many kids do end up with what their parents had in mind for them, do they?
End up?
Well, you know what I mean. You know, I was just thinking about Susan and Peter. I hope we don't forget all this by the time they're grown up. 'Cause you know, love, Mummy and Daddy don't always know it all.
You don't know how much I know about tug-of-war. I keep me aces to myself.
Oh, you plain well did this morning, didn't you?
Yeah, and the reason for this quorum is to tell you that them at the Flying Horse have got a pretty fair reputation in the 88 stone class.
Oh, we're all right, then.
We echoes like we're 10 pound overweight on any Walker's scales. I've been all the way up and down Rosamond Street. Oh, and that's one of me aces. Having a pair of scales in plenty of time to get one of you slimming.
But wouldn't it be easier for all of them to shed a bit?
Well, it's no good looking at me. Well, I mean, look at me. There's more flesh on a feather boa.
Hey, that means you've got to do without.
Without what?
Whatever it is you do without.
Ah, he's got sense as that, lad, you know. Still, it's worth making the sacrifice if there's honour at stake.
Nobody comes to be here.
All right, we'll all shed a bit. Apart from the human pipe cleaner here.
Well, what do you want me to do, Albert? I can't pull.
No, you're the coach.
Eh?
Where do you come in?
I don't.
Well, it was your idea.
I know, but I've been invited round to our beaties, and that comes afore any tug-of-war. Anyhow, Jack Walker here will pull you through all right. Oh, and here's another of me aces. Don't let them lads from Flying Horse see you practising.
Sorry I was so long. How long have you been sitting there?
Oh, not very long. What kind of a day have you had?
Oh, only got half of what I intended to get. Oh, and I brought you some New Year cards for your buck-teeth girlfriend.
Thanks, Elsie.
Yeah, it's big of me, kid, isn't it?
How about Dennis? Is he okay for Christmas?
Oh, yeah, but by that time I reckon he'll be a bundle of cowbells and hair. It's a long story, one that makes you glad that you're not... Is something wrong?
Yes, sort of.
Come on, let's get a slice of the action.
You've seen too many English films.
What is it, love?
I've been posted.
Where to?
Stateside. Back to America.